What's up, man? Today's topic, man, is this Adrien Broner last opportunity to take advantage and get his career back on track? Because if he beat and defeat Manny Pacquiao, his career can get back on track. But is Adrien Broner ready to take this opportunity and make the most of it? Now, in the press conference, it was the same old Adrien Broner. I mean, he look. I know, you talk trash and things like that, but Adrien Broner really wasn't talking trash. It was more like a stand-up comedy show for him. It's like he was doing stand-up. I mean, I don't know, man. I wonder if Adrien Broner ready to take advantage of this opportunity. And he looked out of shape. I mean, when he stood up, the man had a gut. I mean, his gut was sticking out. I mean, like I said yesterday, Adrien Broner, see, the fighters know that these fights are going to be made probably at least about a month before we even know. And he should have been getting in. He should have been getting in shape. This is like the biggest fight of your career. Like Manny Pacquiao is the biggest fight of Adrien Broner's career. When people agree with that, when all y'all agree with that, this is the biggest fight of his career. And you mean to tell me you out of shape, man? Come on, Adrien Broner. And look, people want to sympathize with Adrien Broner, but you can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves. I'm going to tell you that right now. Adrien Broner has to help Adrien Broner. You know what I'm saying? You can give him a helping hand, but he has to help himself ultimately. And he's out of shape. You should be in shape, man. You should be one step ahead of the game. Like, so when you go in training camp, it's not a weight losing program. It's let's put the game plan together to beat Adrien Broner, and let's get in tip top shape in order to do that, mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be in there. Oh, I have to lose weight. Hopefully, I'm on weight. I got to get on the scale every day before sparring. I mean, before I work out, after I work out. It's like, come on, man. Then now you got the stress of, I'm hoping I make weight. I'm hoping I don't overwork myself so I can have something left for the boxing match and things of that nature. Because like I said, Adrien Broner is a 4-division world champion, but who has he beat? Name me one significant fight that Adrien Broner have won. Name one. I got one. And that's Paulie Malignaggi when he went up 2 weight classes to fight Paulie Malignaggi. And I told you my thoughts on that. Paul Malignaggi himself came up from lower weight classes. Paul Malignaggi wasn't a full-fledged welterweight. Paul Malignaggi at that time was the weakest welterweight to pick on. Because at that time, Pacquiao and Mayweather were champions. I think I said yesterday Keith Thurman was a champion. I'm not sure, was Keith Thurman the champion at the time that he jumped up 2 weight classes? Maybe, maybe not. But I know for sure Pacquiao and Mayweather was champions at welterweight at that time. So he picked on the welterweight. Well, yeah, Keith Thurman was no champion at that time. It was Paul Malignaggi, Pacquiao, and Mayweather. So he picked on the easiest fight. He took the easiest fight. So if that's his biggest win, then that's not saying a whole lot. Because I look at his resume, and I'm looking at a Sean Porter loss. I'm looking at a Marcus Maidana loss. I'm looking at a Mikey Garcia loss. Those are his 3 biggest fights. Those are his marquee fights, and he lost every one of them. And he not only lost them, he lost every one of them bad. I mean, he was competitive, but some of those fights was one-sided. So I'm trying to figure out if Adrien Broner, now, can he win the fight? I don't think he's going to win the fight. I think Manny Pacquiao is going to beat Adrien Broner because I believe Adrien Broner is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao loves fighters to stand right in front of him. Adrien Broner, what does he do? Adrien Broner likes to stand in the pocket. Adrien Broner is a pocket fighter. He's not a move fighter. He's not gonna move side to side and fight like that. He cannot win the fight on his back foot. That's the only way that I can see him beating Manny Pacquiao, if he can fight off his back foot and he has a really good jab, using a really good jab. And that's how you control Manny Pacquiao. You have to have a really good jab to control. If you have any hopes of controlling Manny Pacquiao, you got to have a really good jab. Or you got to be like Jeff Horn, fight really, really physical, and that's not the way Broner fights. So I don't see Broner winning the fight, unless we know Manny Pacquiao is 40 years old, unless he looks his age when he get in there, because boxing does that. You can go in, one fight look good and you're an older fighter, and the next fight is gone. So that's the only way I can see Adrien Broner winning the fight, if Manny Pacquiao is gone. You know what I'm saying? If that was Manny Pacquiao's last good performance versus Matisse. Other than that, he's not going to win the fight, man. And look, what's up, Zon? What's up, boy? I'm still seeing videos saying only if Adrien Broner let his hands go. People are still falling into that. Stop, man. Stop falling into that trap with Adrien Broner. Only if he let his hands go. Only if Broner take everything serious. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao may stop him. He might stop him. But only if Adrien Broner let his hands go. Only if Adrien Broner come in shape. Do y'all know part of being talented is being talented mentally? That's part of your talent. That's part of being a great athlete. That's part of being a great performer. Is not only being talented physically, is being talented mentally. And Adrien Broner just is not talented mentally. He never was talented mentally. It's just at the lower weight classes, he was now look, he was physically bigger than those guys at the lower weight classes. And he was able to take advantage of that, and he can fight. He can fight somewhat. He has a nice fighting style for the lower weight classes, because he can walk those guys down and don't have to worry about nothing coming back. It's just when Adrien Broner moved up and fought, you know what I'm saying, Paulie Malignaggi first. That was the first red flag when he fought Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah, he won the fight, but he did not look good winning that fight. That was supposed to be his Gotti moment. You know how Mayweather went in there and performed very well against Arturo Gotti? That was supposed to be his Arturo Gotti moment, and it just wasn't. That was the first red flag, but everybody let it go because everybody said he moved up 2 weight classes, so people just, looked the other way. It was hard for him to move up 2 weight classes, not realizing that Paulie Malignaggi is a career. At Paulie Malignaggi best, Paulie Malignaggi is a career 140, 135 pound fighter himself. So, people overlooked it. Me, Zone, a couple other people, we pointed it out and said, hey, y'all, this is a red flag for him that he didn't do good versus Paulie. You know what I'm saying? The red flag for me came when he lost his belts on the scales before he even fought Paulie Malignaggi. When he lost his belt, when he fought that other guy he fought, and he lost his belt on the scales. I'm always very critical of fighters losing belts on the scales, especially young fighters. I mean, you're supposed to be young and hungry at that time. You're supposed to do everything you have to do mentally and physically to get ready for your fight, not to lose your belt on the scales. And it didn't seem to bother him when he lost his belt on the scales. That's what took me back. Like, it didn't even bother him that he lost his belt on the scales. And to me, that's the same road that Gervonta Davis is going down. I had a talk with EJ Boxing, the European guy from the UK. Had a talk with him, and I was telling him that Adrien Broner, that Gervonta Davis is going down the same path as Adrien Broner. He kept telling me, "No, man, there's no similarities." I was like, "No, it is similarities there. They both had Mayweather as their mentor. They both lost their belt on the scales at a young age. They both came to prominence in a young age, and they both having the same outside the ring problems." And I told him, I said, that's a red flag. And it's the same thing that happened with Adrien Broner when that's a red flag, man. You lose your belt on your scales. Oh, man, it doesn't matter, man. He's young, man. He He just he made a mistake. I said, okay. But see, boxing is individual sports, anything individually, you have to, you are the franchise. You are the player on the field or in the ring or whatever you're doing on the tennis court. It's you and only you. So if you have a bad day, you're going to lose. In basketball, football, hockey, things of that nature, baseball, you can have a bad day and the team still wins because you have other people to rely on. In boxing, you rely on you. That's it. It's no other. It's nobody else you could to rely on. If you have a bad day in boxing, that bad day probably turns into you losing, most likely. So if is Adrien Broner ready to take a, I mean, he always say the same thing, and before he have every big fight, listen to Adrien Broner press conference and listen to his interviews. If I'm right, if I come in to the if I come in with the right mindset, I can win the fight. Okay, why don't you do it then? Because I told y'all he's not talented mentally. When it comes to mental capacity, he's not talented. He's lacking something mentally to get him over the hump. Anytime you have 3 marquee fights and you have not got over the hump yet, most likely you won't ever get over the hump. And that's true with a lot of fighters and a lot in boxing. Some fighters just can't get over the hump. Like Gabe Rosado, he cannot get over the hump. He fought so many good fighters, he just can't get over the hump. He's never going to get over the hump. Most likely he's not going to get over. Most likely Adrien Broner is not going to get over the hump. He went to the peak of his. He went to the peak of his mountain, and he cannot go any higher. But people are hoping that Adrien Broner goes higher. You know what I'm saying? That and hoping somebody's gonna do something when they haven't shown you that they can do it, you're just hoping. It's just, you just wasting your time. Adrien Broner did it to Adrien Broner. But like I told you, Adrien Broner is one of the few fighters that market himself very well. He did that part. Now he nailed that part. That he get a 10, he get a 12, he get a 20 on that part, on the marketing part. But in boxing, you have to be able to back it up in the ring. Like I told you, your mouth, what you do in the ring has to supersede what you talk about with your mouth. And Adrien Broner, what he does with his mouth supersedes what he does in the ring. And then you lose credibility. And then you just become a caricature of yourself. You have people laughing at you instead of laughing with you. And like I said about Adrien Broner yesterday, when I did that video about him and Manny Pacquiao press conference, he turned that press conference into a stand-up comedy show. Manny Pacquiao was laughing at the man. Your opponent over there laughing at you. I mean, come on, man. This fight right here, you should take very, very serious. Now, you say you can make $100 million. I don't know how much I don't know how you come to that number, because this fight is not going to sell, a whole lot of pay-per-views for you making $100 million. I don't know where you get that from. I guess you figure if you win this fight, because I heard him say he want to fight Mayweather if he win this fight. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he correlating this fight can catapult him to fight Mayweather, which can catapult him to making $100 million. That's my only, thing I think he's correlating that with. But like I said, this is Adrien Broner's last chance. And then Adrien Broner just becomes a stepping stone for other fighters coming up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Yeah, I know some people out there like Adrien Broner. They say they can relate to Adrien Broner, because he keep it real. To me, people trip me out with that, keeping it real. Oh, he's keeping it real. He hasn't left the hood. This is what I got to say about that, man. People act like keeping it real and staying in the hood is something great. It's like some great gesture. No, man, it's not. The hood is designed for you. Yeah, hoping that you keep it real so you can end up in jail, dead, or whatever. That's why Hey, look, that's why the design is where it is, because people are keeping it real. Man, what you mean? No, 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 no. Keep it real to your family. Be true to your family. Be true to the people. Keep it real to the people that support you, that's in your corner, that's been in your corner since day one. Keep it real with those people. You ain't got to keep it real with the hood. The. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. That's a lot of people problems. That's Gavante Davis' problem right now, because he's trying to keep it trying to keep it real with the hood. Stop being worried about keeping it real with the hood, man. Get out the hood, do better. You know what I'm saying? Make a better path for your kids or whatever, and so they won't have to live in the hood and go through the same things you went through. That should be your keeping it real, not going back to the hood, getting involved in the same old stuff, because you got the same old friends there doing the same old things. It's not all people dying over blocks they don't own. It's one thing if we had the power to really change the hood. If no, 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 no. You have the power to change the hood if people stop doing the same things and doing the and see it's choices, man. People have choices. People make, usually in life you're a product of your choices. Usually your life, when you're 30 years old and you look back and let's say you're not where you want to be, or you thought you was going to be, usually it's a product of your choices, man. We are a product of our choices in a large sense. Now, when people say, "Oh, you can't change the hood," or you have to be a product of your environment, you don't have to be a product of your environment, man. But see, I'm getting off course, but I'm just saying you don't have to be a product of your environment. To me, that's just a lazy way out, man. That's just a lazy way out. It is what it is, and a lot of people won't like it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like it, but it is what it is, man. I have cousins that love Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, I like Tupac as an artist. I mean, I thought he was an awesome artist, one of the best artists, rap artists, or any type of artist that ever lived. But Tupac, he was a degenerate. He did things that he didn't have to do because he won a lottery. He was able to get out the hood, and he was able to make money, and he was able to live a different lifestyle than he lived when he was in the hood. He didn't have to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people, when he said thug life and all that, it was a lot of young men. It was a lot of people, a lot of my friends that loved Tupac because he was talking about the thug life, and they took it as a thug life as being a degenerate and just getting in trouble and doing what you want to do and being a menace and going in and out of jail. They thought that stuff was the life. They don't know, man, that's not the life. And yes, Tupac had a lot of influence with his music, but people talk about Tupac like he had this cultural changing influence on black culture. He didn't. He didn't have culture, not nothing for the positive. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get mad at that, but it wasn't nothing. He was a great artist. Now you have to separate the man from the music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I'm guilty of this too. We get to the point to where we can't separate both. No, it's a separation between Tupac music and Tupac as the person, the guy that's, that was involved in a lot of crazy stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So for people to say, "Oh, he was this great," no, man, he wasn't a great influence, man. When he coined that phrase "thug life," now people will say, "Well, the young people shouldn't have followed." But when you have great power and great influence, then you have a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? To carry yourself a certain way if you want to promote change in the in the black community. If you want to do that, then you have to present yourself in a light of positivity. And Tupac didn't do he wasn't about that. He wanted to have this persona of being a thug, a degenerate, a guy that's gonna do what he want to do, whether it's illegal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when you coin that phrase thug life, a lot of young men went under that umbrella and took on that persona, and it didn't turn out too good for them. It just didn't. So when people want to tell me, see, the only people that really believe that Tupac had a big influence on black culture, as far as, I'm not talking about his music. That's why I said y'all gotta separate the man from the music. His music was good. He did good. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed his music when I was younger, but I never looked at Tupac as being this, cultural changing influence, positivity on the black community. No, I didn't. I never took it as that, because I understood that I never I never understood people, taking on that thug life persona. I just didn't. It was not even beneficial to no young black man. It wasn't, because like I said, they took it as, let me be a menace. Let me go out here and drink. Let me go out here and smoke weed. Let me go out here and go in and out of jail. That stuff is cute. If you go to jail, you get some type of honorary reward from the streets, and people wanted to do all that. So, and people getting thug life tatted on them. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I didn't look at it as that. Like I said, rest in peace, Tupac, rest in peace. But I didn't see the big cultural influence as far as positivity, man. I just didn't see it. Hey, a lot of people will disagree with me. Everybody have their opinions. But a lot of my friends that thought he had a big influence was the guys that was going in and out of jail. That was caught up in the drug game and all that stuff. Those are the people that really believe Tupac had a positive influence on the black community. Let's just be honest. Those are the people that hold Tupac at this high regard. Are the people that made bad, terrible decisions in their life and decided to do things illegal and went in and out of jail, and then they looked at Tupac as being their messiah or something. I'm telling you, because I had cousins that thought Tupac couldn't do no wrong, that Tupac was this god, man. I'm telling y'all, I seen it. But like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about Tupac. I'm just saying he wasn't a positive influence on the black community. It's just, I didn't see it. But, somebody else can enlighten me and tell me or show me some positive influence he had. But like I said, back to Adrien Broner, man. I went off course. But back to Adrien Broner, man. Adrien Broner, this is his last shot. And then he's a Devin Alexander. He's a Andre Berto. He's a stepping stone for so who's winning the fight? Oh, I got Pacquiao winning the fight. I got Pacquiao possibly stopping Adrien Broner. Because like I said, Adrien Broner best way of fighting is in the pocket. You can't fight Manny Pacquiao in the pocket, man. You have to be outside of the pocket beating Manny Pacquiao. With controlling him with a good jab. Adrien Broner has a decent jab, but Adrien Broner don't throw enough punches. It's going back to that. When is Adrien Broner gonna let his hands go? It's going back to that. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that web. But like I said, the only way Adrien Broner is gonna win if Adrien Broner uses his jab and uses some type of movement. Adrien Broner, his feet are. He tried to. Y'all seen? Okay, case in point. Y'all seen when he tried to move against Mikey Garcia? He didn't look good, did he? He didn't fight well because he's not a mover. That's not how he fights. But I remember critiquing him. Hey, Zone, you remember, if Zone's still up in here, he remember. We were critiquing Adrien Broner. We said Adrien Broner can't continue fighting like that in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? He would have to be able to move a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then, we used to say that Adrien Broner, now he cannot move. That's just the way he fights. And people will tell us, no, Adrien Broner got more to show. He can move. Okay, well, show me. You know what I'm saying? He tried to move against Mikey Garcia. He didn't look good because he's not comfortable fighting off the back foot. Not all fighters can win fights off the back foot. It's only few fighters in boxing today that can win fights off the back foot. Andy Larry Laura, Terrence Crawford, Lomachenko. If I'm missing somebody, y'all tell me. Oh, that Charlo brother, the Charlo brother at 154. But now he kind of changed his. I'm gonna make a video about him because he kind of changed his fighting style. To me, it's not for the better. Yeah, I know he was getting Keith Thurman. Yeah, you right. Keith Thurman can win a fight off the back foot. If I'm missing some, just chime in. But you know, the Charlo brother at 154, that's the dude, that's the one I like. I like that Charlo at 154. But he changed his style, and I'm not sure it's good for the better. Because now he's caught in between styles. Yeah, Jamel. Now he's caught in between styles. He was a beautiful boxer and had some pop. He had some pop. Now that he got with Derrick James, I'm not saying Derrick James is a bad coach for him, but what I'm saying is this: he started getting knockouts with Derrick James. Now he's fallen in love with the knockout, and the way he fought the first one, the way he fought was a better way for him because he still had pop, but he had boxing skills where he can win a fight going forward and he can win a fight on his back foot. Now he's stuck in between styles. His last, it wasn't all that, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I've been on here for 26 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here, but yeah, you know, I got Pacquiao winning the fight, possibly stopping Adrien Broner. You know, but you know, it is what it is, man. I'm out, y'all. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Thanks for coming through. Tyrone, Houston. I mean, it's my first time ever seeing you up in here, but thanks, dude. Dairy Way, thanks for coming in, y'all. LDD 95, thanks for coming in, man. I'll probably be back later, y'all. I'm off for the next four days anyway. I'll be back later.